Well, all right. So I figure you're probably wondering, where in the world have you been, Regulate Traveler? Have you abandoned us? Do you no longer love us? Have you forgotten about all your friends on YouTube? You just don't care about your YouTube empire. You don't care about Willys. I mean, what's a Willys truck? I mean, you ain't even posted a video in so long. Clearly, you've abandoned us. That is not the case. And some of you might be thinking, well, you've been out working, Regulate Traveler. Surely to the world, you're just stacking money. You're just stacking it up, all in $1 bills, just stacked. You're also mistaken. So a lot of things that happen. I alluded to this in a few comments to some fellers on the channel because I've been trying to keep up with the comments some. I know some of y'all have waited for a few weeks. Some of that's because YouTube hides my comments from me sometimes, and I don't see them. Um, so YouTube. Anyway, so you're probably thinking, well, you're traveling, you're making big bucks, you're all this. I wish that was true. I wish that was the case. So we'll do a summarization because I haven't put a video on quite a while. The video before that was quite a while ago, and the one before that was shamefully long ago. I haven't put on hardly any content in months, and I'm ashamed of myself. I'm ashamed. So let's just give a synopsis, right? I have been traveling a lot. I've been all over the place, blah, 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 Chicago, St. Louis, Kansas City, all this crap. Well, I wish I could tell you that I was making a killing, that I'm like Carnegie, I'm like Vanderbilt combined, and no, it's not the case. So, in that kind of work, what happens is basically you bid jobs, right, that need to be done, and then the jobs are out for always on the other side of the continent, and so you drive from over here in Georgia, you drive from Georgia all the way out to Utah, let's say, uh, where I was at not that long ago, and you're out there for 2 3 weeks, but the jobs themselves at the individual restaurants take maybe 2 3 4 hours. So what happens is it means I'm gone for like 2 weeks, but I didn't really get that many hours. So I'm paid hourly, and I was paid for drive time, which was, kind of convenient because it would compensate somewhat a little bit for how little I was making as far as hourly wages. So sometimes I'd be gone for 2 weeks when I wasn't here. I told you I was out of town. I'd be gone, and I might have like 30 hours or something. Well, that ain't enough for diddly squat. I'm sure y'all all have noticed that inflation is high. Things are very expensive, and it's not really it's not benefiting me a whole lot anymore, and it's wearing me down. More importantly, it's I have I've told my buddy Brian, who y'all have seen on the channel, I have a good work ethic. I do. I don't mind working hard. I actually like it for the most part, about as much as you can like manual labor. But what I have trouble with, my work ethic disappears when I realize that it's for no gain in the future or right now. So I didn't. I don't. I don't. I don't hate what I was doing per se. I don't. Didn't. It's not that I necessarily dislike the environment or anything like that. It's just a simple business. Money. It's not enough. So I'm no longer doing that. I'm not doing that crap anymore. All right. We're not. I'm not traveling to Utah to work on a cheesecake factory. I'm not going to be up at, well, I'll probably still be up at 4 o'clock in the morning because right now it's like 1:30 in the morning, but that's what happens when you've worked night shift and you've done this kind of crap for a long time. Um, so I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing it. Not going to do it because I can't. I'm burnt out. Uh, there's stuff going on in my family that I need to be around for. I haven't been around with my family a whole lot. Um, what little bit of family I have left, which is a whole nother story. But regardless, I've got 2 family members uh, that that I deeply love, and I'd like to be around a whole lot more. And I'm not, doing that job. I'm not around them as much as I'd like to be, and I can't help my brother, whose shop this is, where I film all the stuff and work on the trucks. I can't be around to help him with stuff. I can't be around for my mother. Okay, so that's basically, as far as I'm concerned, the only 2 family members I really have. There are other ones on paper, but that just because they're on paper doesn't make them family. Anyway, so there's that aspect. It's really, and it's basically making it impossible for me to do this YouTube channel, which is something that's very important to me. I haven't made all these videos and done all this stuff just because I want to piss it away, because I want to go make, 12 hours, but drive for 30 to do it. I don't want to do that. It's causing me emotional, mental distress. And so I've just broken off. Don't want to do it no more, so I'm not. Anyway, so what am I going to do now? My goal is to never work for somebody else again if I don't have to. Because I figure if I'm going to be poor working for somebody else, I can be poor working for myself, And I ain't never had a pot to piss in, so it ain't going to be any different now. So, what's different? So, my plan is to work on the Willys, buy and sell Willys trucks like I was doing before, to do this YouTube channel, which is, that doesn't add to the monetary stuff or anything, but I enjoy doing it. It's a good atmosphere on the channel. I like talking to y'all. I'm doing a kind of a small business with my girlfriend. We're going to like festivals and stuff, and we're selling stuff that she makes these signs that I told y'all about. She makes the signs. And I'm making different stuff as well. Let me get kind of centered a little bit. I'm making kind of stuff too, which is why the shop is covered in wood scraps and stuff, because I'm making birdhouses and different crap like that to sell at these festivals and craft fairs and stuff with her. And I enjoy doing it anyway. So, let me give you an example. So, this, if you're familiar with geography, this is the great state of Georgia, okay? That's what this is. All right, so I cut this out. This is made out of a piece of cedar that was cut down probably 65, 70 years ago, and it was a big cedar tree. It was a magnum cedar tree because my brother got a lot of the wood. It was my grandfather's best friend, who I've mentioned on the channel. He was a machine gunner in World War II. Anyway, it was on his family land, and they cut the cedar tree down a long time ago, and he kept the wood for years out in a pole shed. And he was like most old men, they have no idea how to build a shed with any kind of pitch on the roof at all. They didn't believe in it. Most old men that I've ever been around, to suggest that you build a pitch on a roof was just blasphemous, almost like a heretic, So the cedar, unfortunately, a lot of it ended up with some rot in it, but there is still a lot of good wood, and so I've been making birdhouses and things like this out of it. I'm actually thinking about making some of these for the channel. My girlfriend's got an Etsy page, so I don't have any way to sell them to, if anybody on here wants them. I don't have any way to sell them to y'all because I don't have a page or anything like that. But if that's something y'all be interested in, if y'all would want something like this, I was thinking about doing one, in Georgia like this. Obviously, this would appeal mainly to folks that live in Georgia that are on my channel. But maybe y'all just like the channel and, whatever. If this is something y'all be interested in, then let me know in the comments. And if there's enough interest in it, or if people like it, then I'll make some of them. I can make them stained like this. I can make them just the cedar color, which is, cedar color like this, natural color. I can stain them different colors. We can paint them, whatever. And then we can put, Red Clay Traveler, and I can number them on the back, where they're, do of this batch, do like a, limited run of however many people would want it. But do like a, Red Clay Traveler, and I could put a star on here where I'm at, if you'd want. Something like that. I'm not trying to sell you stuff. I'm not trying to peddle crap, but I'm just saying, I think this is neat. This is made out of old growth cedar, and it's made by your boy, Red Clay Traveler. And so if that's something y'all like, let me know. And if it's something y'all would like, then I can basically just put them on my girlfriend's Etsy, and y'all could buy them there if you'd want. But that's, neither here nor there. That's just, if y'all like that idea, then let me know. It doesn't have anything to do with the giveaway stuff that I do at the giveaways. Nothing like that. So, Jubal, all right, my Willys truck. What in the world? Oh, Shirley, you've gotten Jubal done. No, I haven't. I have not. I haven't done anything to Jubal since that last video that I did when I was violently disappointed by Napa. I have not done anything to him since then, and that's mainly because I've been traveling and dealing with that and doing all that crap. So when you're gone for 2 or 3 weeks doing some kind of crap that you didn't really want to do to start with, when you get back, the last thing you really want to do is crawl up underneath the truck and work on it for hours on end. So it's an excuse and it's a poor one, but that's the reality. So now I got lots of free time. So I need to get motivated again, and because the Dauntless is ready. There's very little left to do to the Dauntless. Very little. I got to put the spring in the oil pump. Y'all seen that in the other video. I need to get a thermostat, put it in there, put the water neck housing on there. It's been loosely painted black, so that's good. Put the distributor, get a new distributor cap, hook it to the transmission with a new clutch and all that, and slam it in the truck. There's really not that much left to do as far as like the process of putting it in the truck. So I'm planning on doing that here before long. I know I keep saying that, but like I've just now gotten a second to myself here in the last week to where I really can to do things like that again. So I'm on the fence about selling the 2-wheel drive Willys. I don't want to at all. But if I want to freelance it again like I did before, it would be a good way to start the ball rolling in that direction again. Start the Willys empire back up. It would give me some chinchillas to start doing that, because I've been seeing some pretty good prices on some Willys. I've been keeping my eye on them. I haven't stopped. Now, I've also seen some ridiculous. There's a Willys wagon on there right now. Oh, Willys wagon, a generic Willys wagon that the gentleman, for whatever reason, is claiming is some kind of one-off limited production. And he never bothers to tell you why it's a one-off limited production. He just says it is. And so therefore it must be true. Anyway, it's a 61. If you see it on there, you'll think it's funny. It's got a straight 6 in it, Super Hurricane. It's unrestored. It's a solid wagon. Solid wagon. It was $22,500 for it, or at least that's what he's posted. And sometimes people would put 1, 2, 3, 4 or something for the price if they don't want to put the price because they're ashamed of themselves. But I don't think so. And the guys on the Willys forums don't seem to think that it's a joke either. So, I don't know what's wrong with people. I don't know if maybe they've been hitting the laughing gas, having some whoop chicken or something. But a generic wagon, unrestored, that doesn't run, even if it is an alleged, one of 750 ever made, it's not worth $22,500. I can promise you that it's not. And wagons tend to be worth less than the trucks anyway. And I like wagons. I'm not poo-pooing wagons. I like wagons, but I'm saying they're generally in worse shape. They're generally harder to find in any kind of, like the condition of Jubal. The reason why I don't have a wagon is because I've never seen one that was worth having for sale where I would buy it. That's the reason. So it's not because I don't like them. I like wagons. I'm definitely going to have a wagon. I'm just not going to buy a steaming pile and try to piece it together, because you're going to spend the money either way. So if you want to buy a wagon or a truck or whatever, and you're trying to say, well, I'll just buy it and I'll work on it myself. Well, if you like working on stuff yourself, then you should do that. If you don't like working on stuff, or you don't have the ability, or more importantly, the patience to do it, then don't do it. Just buy one that's already done, that somebody else has already restored or got nearly restored, because you're going to spend the money either way. If I want to get Jubal just showroom ready, I'm going to spend the money, the same amount, probably more than if I just bought one that was already ready. It's an unfortunate reality, but it generally is true. especially on these older vehicles, because most of the parts, there's 2 or 3 suppliers of them, period. So they can charge whatever they want because nobody else makes it. So, so they could just do whatever you want. And large sections of this truck you can't buy. There's still vast sections of it that you can't buy anywhere. Especially body panel stuff. It's just ridiculous that they're not making some of the stuff. So, anyway, wagon 22.5. I hope it sells for 22.5 because then I'm gonna be buying some wagons. Let me tell you. But I've been seeing some other stuff. There's a GPW on there that looks like it was rear-ended by a Kenworth, and they want $6,000 for it, for a GPW that basically is a grill and a windshield, if we're honest about it. The tub is destroyed. It's got a bow with the tool notches bowed out violently. The tub is gone, and it's been heavily modified in it. You can see in the picture it's been heavily modified, and the grill looks nice. The windshield looks pretty solid. There's probably, the front fenders are probably good. There's parts on it good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a GPW, allegedly. Just because they say it is doesn't mean it is. I can't tell you how many World War II CJ2As I've seen posted. I can't tell you how many World War II CJ3Bs I've seen posted. CJ means civilian Jeep. And they'll even put it in there. CJ2A World War II Jeep. And I'm not even talking about a CJ2A that's been painted to look like World War II Jeep. I'm talking about a standard CJ2A that's painted, red or some crap, and they'll claim it's a World War II Jeep. So people just claim whatever the hell they want. So just because it says MB, GPW, GP, whatever, doesn't mean that it is. And you Jeep fellers know what I'm talking about, and you also know how to determine a MB from a GPW. All right, lots of ways. Anyway, whether there's a frame body on it or not. Okay, so I'm babbling, but I ain't talked to y'all in a month of Sundays, so just deal with it. If you don't like it, there's a button down there you can exit out of it. All right, I miss y'all. I want to babble. I love you all, and so I'm going to do it. We're only 17 minutes in. There's a lot to cover. So, let's see. We've talked about the woodworking I've been doing. Talked about the Dauntless, Willys. What else we got going on? Been working on, so my brother, there's a chicken house over here that was built. We're not sure exactly when it was built. It's old. It's old as the hills, as they say. Anyway, it's bad shape. It's falling down. And we've been using it for kind of one end of it. My brother would store firewood in, and we'd put the tractor and some stuff in there. And my brother decided while I was out of town, or just before I went out of town a couple times back, that he was going to tear it down. It was a good idea because it's devaluing the property because it's in bad shape and there ain't no saving it. We've saved the barn. The barn that we're in right now was falling in, and we saved it. We made it the shop. And then there was another chicken house that they'd already cut down. Somebody did years ago, cut about half of it off. We saved it, rebuilt it, and that's the motorcycle building over there where we store motorcycles and stuff. And then there was the big chicken house that basically was just an eyesore that was falling in on itself. Another thing old men did back in the day, they weren't afraid to half-ass building things. They just weren't. They just, there's a lot of people would say, well, this was built back in the day, so it must have been built good. It depends. It depends on if it was built by a poor dirt farmer back in the day, or if it was built by somebody with money, or built by somebody that cared. Those are all different things. So the chicken house was built very poorly, built really the wrong spot in a hole in the ground. So water just flooded underneath it, and it's just walls are splaying out, caving in, and so touring it now. And then my brother's got a dozer out there that blew a hydraulic hose on it, or a hydraulic line, hard line, So went and got a new one of those, put it on there, fired it up. It's running good. It's an old case dozer, and then it blew the line beside it. So I took the line down there today, which was actually yesterday, and getting it made. I'm supposed to go get it today, and then we're going to put that on there because it is a sick unit. I do like the dozer. I ain't got to run it yet because we keep blowing lines on it. Can't keep no hydraulic fluid Earl in it because it keeps blowing lines. So, like most pieces of equipment that we've had around here at the Reckless Traveler Ranch, it's very poorly maintained, zero love given. So I've been doing stuff like that. What else can we talk about? All kinds of stuff. All kinds of. So, for example, my brother's a cabinet maker. I think I've referenced that before. This is something he made out of some of that cedar. He made this several years ago. This is a corner shelf. You put it, obviously, in the corner of your house, living room or whatever. And this is made out of some of that cedar, and it's just been lacquered, polyurethaned or something. But, you know, this wood is just gorgeous. The cedar. Look at that. You see, this is the raw edge on the back. So he made this several years ago. So I replicated one of these the other night down here. Used this one as a model to make a new one for. So I'm going to try to sell that at the festivals and stuff that we go to. So yeah, so I've been spending a lot of my time doing that, and the rest of the time spending it with my girlfriend because, as I've mentioned before, she's not a psychopath, raving lunatic, arguably should be in some kind of an asylum like the other females that I've referenced on my channel that I had the mispleasure of dating. So that makes a big difference. When they're not a psychopath and they're not emotionally destroying you, psychologically and emotionally, you tend to want to be around them more. So I like being around her. Her name's Brittany. She's solid. Like how I knew she was solid, for example, right? I don't know. I think it's mainly a Southern thing. I don't know. I've never met no other folks that really did it. Also, don't ask them a whole lot. But I know more rural people, farm people, Midwest people probably did it too, is that back in the day, especially during the Depression, you would take cornbread and you put it in milk and you'd eat it almost like cereal. And they did that for a lot of reasons, because cornbread's easy to make, it's cheap, and it's very filling because it's bread, right? It's cornbread and the milk, and so you could get a decent meal out of it as far as like, you know, what you need to live and keep you from starving to death, and you could do it for very cheap. And so a lot of folks did that back in the day. My grandfather did it. I love eating it that way as well, as you can tell, because I'm, look like I bust a can of biscuits. Anyway, so when I first started talking to Brittany, I said something about that to her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we do that too." And I'm not gonna lie, my heart just a little pitter-patter thing going on, because not many folks do that anymore. Not many people's ever heard of it, or at least the ones that I know, and especially not women in my age bracket, which according to most people could be anywhere from 30 to 50. So, yeah. So Brittany's aces is what I'm saying. She doesn't want to be on the channel. She's shy. She doesn't want to be on the channel, which I don't blame her. Most people aren't willing to get on here and act a fool like I am, but you know what? It doesn't make any difference to me. So, yeah, I'm babbling, but I'm trying to get back in the swing of doing a video. I ain't done one in a minute. So let me show you the Willys, because y'all ain't seen it in a minute. There he is. There he is. Look at all this damn Willys glory. See this? Do you see it? Okay. There's Jubal right there. And then if you look over there, the Dallas is right there where I left it. Okay? Right there. Right there. Okay? So, as I mentioned before, my motor mount was trash. So I got to buy, a $12 motor mount's holding up the Empire. And now, I haven't looked for it since I've been traveling and all that, so I'm going to actually take a second and order another one. And I believe, and they are different. The passenger and driver's side are different. on this motor mount that I'm getting, because it's off of what did I say it was? A 76 Buick Skylark, I think. I can't remember. I know it's a 76. Anyway, they interlock, right? Well, but they are different. So I can't just order another passenger one. I need the driver's one, I believe. So I've got to order that. I got to put the spring in here that regulates the pressure. Got to get that, which I have it. It's over there. I just got to put it in there, figure out which one I actually need to put in. Because we're just going for the normal oil pressure, which is about 40 psi. I put in the original spring when I tested it, when I put it together to make sure it was pumping Earl and everything. And we already got up with me just spinning it with the drill, not even chucked in correctly, with a homemade adapter to turn the distributor, to turn the oil pump, in there. I got it up to like 35 psi without even getting a good spin on it. So I think we're good, is what I'm saying. So I need to put that spring in there and hook it to that damn tranny right there and slam it into the truck, okay? That transmission right there, transfer case, ain't gonna pair itself to the dogless. So we gotta get on that crap. Yeah. Also, because my brother was tearing down the chicken house when I was back in town, I didn't really want to interrupt him from doing that. And honestly, I didn't want to do it at the time, so I was off gallivanting and making knickknacks and paddywhacks and always tiddlywinks down here to sell at the craft fairs, which my brother's been making fun of me about, that I'm making crafts. I'm down here crafting, But it's kind of nice, actually. I've always liked this kind of crap like that. My buddy Brian really likes turning wood and making stuff, and my brother, of course, does the cabinets, and he makes stuff like I just showed you, so it's nice. I've never really done it a whole lot, not this kind of stuff, so, yeah. Trying to get back in the swing is what I'm saying. Trying to get back in the swing, trying to answer the everlasting questions of, like, why did some of the willys have just a push-on knob and other ones threaded on? Why did they do that? Why? Because you're going to be pulling on the shifter, and then the knob just comes off in your hand, and I just don't know. But all of the transfer cases, their knobs are threaded on, so they could thread it for the transfer case. But for the bloody T90, some of them are threaded, some of them are not. You explain that one to me, Lucy, all right? So, yeah, I think I'm going to shut up now. This is my stupid face. My beard looks a lot redder than it probably is in person. But regardless, I'm back. I'm planning on uploading videos somewhat regularly again. I'm going to move around this freaking mess over here. If you look, you got jigsaws and routers and table saws and scraps of wood and crap everywhere and all this. And going to get this kind of mucked out a little bit and get in here and do some light duty tinkering on the Willys. This is a piece of, I can't remember what my brother called it. It's almost like, I think he said it's almost like a maple. It's from Africa. It's a really, it's pretty hard wood. It's very pretty though. A real nice grain pattern to it. I can't think of the name of it right now. He told me, but it does look kind of mapley or not mapley, walnut. It does kind of look like walnut. Anyway, it's from Africa, and it's pretty nifty. So these are some scraps that he had from work, I think, or something. I don't know where he got them from. He's always got some kind of something or another. So we're going to make some paddywhacks, possibly a knick-knack, and if the time allows, a tiddlywink, possibly out of that. I replicated this birdhouse the other day, also. Since we're babbling, this birdhouse is pretty sick. All right, this is a log cabin birdhouse. This is a log cabin birdhouse right here with screws run through it at a violent angle that stick out of the bottom and will stab you. Anyway, this is a pretty nifty birdhouse. And so I made one the other day. It's got a chimney on it and everything. I made one based off of this one. I kind of did it different just a little bit the other day out of cedar, and it came out, it came out all right. It ain't the best, but it's all right. It's good enough for the girls we date. okay, as Vice Grip always says. Um, but yeah. But mainly, I love you all. I'm going to be trying to put stuff on here more regularly. I'm going to get this motor mount, and now I've got the tie. And I'm going to get on here, and we're going to get this motor into that truck over there. That one. Okay? We're going to get it in there. To all my folks on here, you got the Peter Yokums and the Brian Pools and the Matt Jays and the John Does and all them other fellers and that are on here that I'm always talking to on here. I hope you all are still here. I still love you all. We're doing good on subscribers. We just rolled over 1,100, which I'm amazed. I'm still getting subscribers steady, even though I ain't put no content on here. So I appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. All right. And most of the videos do have this kind of rambling lilt to them. But I'm hoping the next few videos are going to be a lot better. Now I'm going to have the time to do the history of the Dauntless V6 that I've been promising for ages, and the history of AMC, which I've been promising for ages. And while I'm waiting to do the Willys, I'm probably going to bring the CJ5 in here because I want to drive it, and I haven't been driving it because my axle seal gave out on the driver's side. I fixed it on the passenger side. It took a greasy one on the driver's side. I fixed it on the passenger. Now it's the driver's side. So I've got to fix that. I've got the parts. It's a horrible, horrible job because AMC sucks, and at least how they did this axle, and so I've got to fix that. And then we can take the doors off of it, crank them on, hatch it up, and go to town, okay? And take Ashby, the pup, who was still alive, very well, doing good. She's fat and sassy, the dog that I rescued, that I found out in the mountains back videos ago. I've been taking her camping several times during this, like the seconds I'm off from that job I had. So I would bring her in here, but there's so much oil and gas and crap, and I just know that she's going to start like licking oil or something, and I don't have the money to be paying for her stomach to get pumped, so I don't bring her over here, basically in an effort to protect her. But anyway, I'm going to be doing lots, and we're going to be putting the CJ5 in here and doing that axle, which is lots of fun. We'll be doing that, and then obviously the Willys, and then I haven't decided if I'm going to sell the two-wheel drive Willys or not. I don't know. I'd rather not, but I don't know. I'm not to the point yet that I'm going to. But if I do, it's not going to be free. I can tell you that. It's going to cost a lot of chinchillas. But I'm the Regulate Traveler. I love you all deeply. I love you all very deeply. Very deeply. And let me see. I had a quote on here that I fancied the other day. And let me give you that real quick, and we'll close this sucker out. Yes, okay. With the courage to begin and the discipline to endure, victory becomes a matter of time. Victory is only a matter of time, my friends. That's the idea with the Willys. That's the idea for this YouTube channel. That's the idea for the knick-knack, paddywhack, tiddlywinks. That's the idea for most everything. Also, one final thing. A very, very good friend of mine, who I've known for quite a while, has received a rather upsetting diagnosis. And if y'all were praying, folks, I would appreciate it if you would pray for him. His name is Drew. I don't want to give out all this stuff, but his name is Drew. And he's a good friend of mine. He's a good dude. He's got a lot of grandkids and kids, and he's just a good dude. And he's far too young to be dealing with this bullshit, but he is. And also, there's another fellow YouTuber. They have a channel on here called Resurrected Garage. And they've bought some Jeeps from me years ago. A couple years ago, I think. They bought a couple Jeeps from me. They're a really cool couple, everything. She's been dealing with some stuff, health stuff, that I've seen her post on their page, so I don't think that's a secret or anything to say. Saw it on their page because I follow them on Facebook and stuff. So pray for her recovery. If you're praying people, pray for her, and please remember my friend Drew to pray for him as well. It would mean a lot, and I would appreciate it. I love you all. I'll catch you on the flip side. And don't forget, Willys for life, even if there's gaps in the content. Willys for life, Jeems for life, Dauntless V6 for life, Creeper that's attacking my camera for life, okay? Get it? Yeah! Yeah, buddy, yeah!